Quick look at starting a project in ArcGIS Pro. Let's quickly look at where we're going to be working, where I'm going to be working on this. I've got a folder here that's on my drive here with some structure so that I've got my raw data stored here. This is some raster data and some vector data. And then I've got this edit folder here, which is where we're going to create the project under this folder called GIS. Now this is a rather complex structure going down here all this way because I'm keeping things in order, and this is a demonstration project, so maybe you don't need to have quite so many different layers to get down to where you're working, but rather directly under documents, a name for the project, and then have a nice structure. But I would suggest something along these lines with edit raw data, keep things in order. If you're doing one of my courses, I don't suggest creating an edit when working with ArcGIS Pro because it creates a folder for you, so you can let it do that. But for us, what I will do is under this GIS folder here, I'm going to create yet another subfolder. We'll see what happens there. Let's just quickly go back to ArcGIS Pro. Now, what you can do is you can, if you want, start without a template. Sure, run with that if you want to, but I'm going to show you this map version. So if we click on map, and then we get this little window here, and it asks for a name. So let's just call it, I'm going to give it a nice name, ABC123. That's the project name. That's also going to be the name of a folder. As I said just a second ago, ArcGIS Pro will create a folder for the project. So rather than having this edit folder, you just don't bother creating that and let Arc do it for you, but you call it project name. I mean, that's an alternative. How you solve this is up to you. But this is going to be the name for the project, the name for the folder that created, the name for the database, the name for a toolbox. We'll look at these details in a minute. Then we have location. Where is all of this going to happen? Click on browse there, and then we need to find out where we want to save this. So, thank you. Really don't like how much help they try to give you, because generally speaking, it's not that helpful. Click on other, and then we got edit, and I want it in there. So I'm going to be saving this to this location. Rather long, probably a bit too long really. You should try and keep things as short as possible, but I'm doing this now as a demonstration during this filming, so it's a little overly complicated. And we've got this ticked, create a new folder for this project. If I didn't click on that, it wouldn't create a new folder, which would also work for me. I could then just save it under this GIS folder. But for the sake of demonstration here, I'm going to let it create a new folder. Click on OK. What will happen is we get a nice new project with a couple of layers already written into it. So Esri provides us with these two. We've got a topographic map, and that's been overlain with a hillshade, so that we get this nice effect here, sort of 3D visualized thing. But I don't want those, so I'm going to get rid of them. I can right click and click on remove, and they're gone. One more thing we need to do, or a couple more things we need to do to make sure this project is up and running, is we need to do something called connect folders. Now, over here I have catalog. If you don't, then click on view and then click on catalog pane, and it will turn up here. So catalog pane turns up there, and then you can pin it to the side. And then once it's there, once we have it, you can just click on that at any time, and it's right there waiting for you. Anyway, that was a little side note. Click on folders here, and here is our project folder, ABC123, with some things in it. Let's just quickly look at that. Here we can see what was an empty folder has now got this ABC123 folder. Click on that, and it's got a geodatabase. It's got a project file, this APRX, which is the set of instructions to ArcGIS saying, go get that file, use this coordinate system. And then this TBX, that's that toolbox file there. And all of these are empty at the moment. We haven't done anything with them. The import log has got some instruction that is entirely unimportant for us in most circumstances. So that's where we're going to be working. But what about our raw data folder, where we have stuff that we want to read into the project? So we need to connect a new folder. So if you right click on folders, add folder connection, And then we need to again look for our folder. Let's go down to documents, and then this is there and there. And we want the raw data folder. And actually, I need to go one step further. So there we go. So now I have all of my raw data files, the folders containing those files, accessible via this. I then click on Save up here, or just Control S, and that saves the project. So now these connections are, or this connection is saved. That's it. That's starting a project.